What's up, guys? It's Ben with 2020 election predictions. And today I'm going to focus solely on the state of North Carolina. I think if Trump is going to win the election, then he's going to have to win the state of North Carolina. And also, the state of North Carolina has a lot of implications on the Senate level. I think it's one out of the two states. I think Iowa and North Carolina are going to decide who gets the Senate control in 2020. So if I think that if we think that Biden is going to win, which is what I think is going to happen right now, then whoever has control of the Senate has massive im- implications. If it is a 50-50 tie, then the Democrats are going to control the House, they're going to control the Senate and the presidency, which means they can pass whatever legislation they want to. And when Barack Obama had this at the 2008 elections, he passed Obamacare, which was definitely a very significant piece of legislation that probably defined the Obama presidency. So let's just dive right in right now. Looking at the overall Senate race, we can see that the Democrats kind of are favored to take it. And the most likely outcome right now is that the Democrats win 51 seats. And what I think this is assuming is that the Democrats are going to win states like Maine, Iowa, North Carolina, Colorado, and Arizona, while Republicans are going to hold on to like Montana, Kansas, Texas, both Georgia seats, and South Carolina, even though I really don't think that's going to be super competitive. But yeah, there you have it right now. But let's focus in on the state of North Carolina. So right now, they think that Tom Tillis has a 34% chance to win, while Cal Cunningham has a 66% chance to win. I don't think that these percentages are entirely accurate right now because they've been pretty constant over the past months. Cal Cunningham just had a sexting scandal come out, and I've been talking to my friends, is this going to matter? But because I think with kind of the politics of to Dale, kind of with the Access Hollywood in 2016, we saw that didn't really move the race that much. In the short term, definitely Trump dropped in the polls a lot. And I always wonder if the Access Hollywood tapes never came out, how much more would have Trump won by? Would he have won in New Hampshire? Would he have won in Minnesota? We really don't know. And I really don't think that Cal Cunningham scandal is as bad as something that, like the Access Hollywood, but I do think that changes the race, and we really haven't seen in this model. I really don't think it's accounted for that. In the last two polls that we've seen have come out, the New York Times polls has Cal Cunningham at +4, and we have the Emerson College where the House has Cunningham at +1. However, in none of these polls is Cunningham getting above like 45%, which I think is very, very telling. And also, some of these polls at Tom Tillis like under 40%, like 36, 39, 37. I really don't think we can put much into these polls. I think what's going to actually be a more accurate measure of who is going to win the Senate race is who wins it on the presidential level. We saw that in 2016. Trump won the state by 3.5 points. I think going into 2020, it's going to be a pure toss up. Right now, in the presidential level, I have it tilting towards Donald Trump. And then on the Senate level, if I had to choose, I think I might have it tilting towards Cal Cunningham, but it's going to be very, very, very close. And if Tom Tillis, if his campaign can kind of just like put a ton of ads and put a ton of money towards kind of making the sexting scandal a bigger story, then I definitely think this could have massive implications on the race. And looking at Richard Burr in 2016, which I think when he was elected here, probably was a more popular figure than Tom Tillis. He won by 6 points outright, and so I mean this is probably as generic of a Republican you can get and same with the Democrats. So North Carolina is definitely a state that is just overall a more leaning towards the Republicans. What I was actually pretty surprised here is that in 2014, which was a Republican wave year, I mean, this was when President Obama was president. It was a midterm. Tom Tillis only won by 1.7 points, so he didn't break 50%. I think part of the reason for this is that Kay Hagan was the incumbent Democrat here, so I definitely think that there is an incumbency advantage, but also I don't think that Tom Tillis was kind of considered a superstar in the Republican Party, and he really isn't right now either. I mean, he was about to get primaried in the race, because I think some people who are more Trumpy didn't think that he was supportive enough of the president. I think that Tillis coming into the end of 2019 and into 2020. Now is kind of more fully embracing Trump, just because he realizes that Trump is actually probably going to outperform him, and that in embracing Trump, if the only people voting are in the state of North Carolina would help him. So I think that's pretty interesting. Looking at North Carolina on the presidential level, we can see it's the exact same, which I think is pretty interesting. We've seen more movement here, which I think shows that the presidential race is maybe a little bit more volatile, but I don't think that the Senate race is this constant. I mean, when Cal Cunningham it came out with this sexting scandal, nothing happened, and I just don't think that you can kind of capture some of these things in the polls. So if right now on the Senate level at large, I think that Joni Ernst is barely going to pull out Iowa, and North Carolina is a pure toss up at this point. I do think that Sarah Gideon is going to win in the state of Maine. She actually has a worse chance than, they say, Cal Cunningham. But I do think this race is going to change. And I think we're going to see the presidential race and the Senate race track very closely. In 2016, we saw split ticket states on the Senate and presidential level. And I think we're going to see something similar in 2020. So I really hope that y'all like this video. I argue that North Carolina might be the most important state, just kind of overall in the 2020 election on the presidential and Senate level. So please like this video if you like it, and comment down below if you disagree. So thanks, guys. See you later.